We're down. All right, you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a little loud?
Yeah, it's like really loud.
Okay. All right, is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we will go ahead and get this party started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sawyer Center on the campus of Southern Nazarene University. SNU basketball live and on the air tonight, the first time in 2020 that the Crimson Storm will darken the doors of the Sawyer Center, taking on the Wonder Boys and the Golden Suns of Arkansas Tech. Hi, everyone. Luke McConnell here at the Sawyer Center with you alongside Emily Jackson for the first time this season here for the women's game. Should be a terrific matchup for the Crimson Storm tonight on both sides of the aisle. Both teams coming off a loss to Henderson State on Saturday in Arkadelphia. Overall, a rough weekend for the Crimson Storm in Arkadelphia, going a combined 1-3 as the SNU women with the only win over the weekend on Thursday night against the Tigers of Ouachita Baptist. SNU men falling to both Ouachita and Henderson State, looking to rebound tonight in the first time back at home since before the Christmas break. Again, looking at the women's slate first as we count down to tip-off here at the Sawyer Center. SNU coming off a 71-59 loss to the Reddies of Henderson State after a 72-45 win over Ouachita Baptist on Thursday evening. Henderson State, the first opponent for the Crimson Storm to hit the 1 point per possession mark this season. The SNU defense has been outstanding so far this year, ranking number 1 in the conference in field goal percentage defense and number 2 in the conference in scoring defense. Those numbers even better in conference play themselves, as SNU also rises to the number 1 scoring defense in conference-only games. The offense has been plagued by turnovers, though. Number 8 in the conference with 18 turnovers per game. Number 9 in conference-only games at 18.8 turnovers per game. The efficiency of the offense is there, but the turnovers have been a big hindrance toward the Crimson Storm really getting anything going on a consistent basis. And you'll hear from head coach Trent May a little bit later talking about that a little bit, as well as other items before tonight's game against the Golden Suns. But the Crimson Storm still right there in the conference standings at 4-2. Arkansas Tech coming into tonight's game very injured and losing some really key players over the last couple weeks. Senior Hannah Lyons out for the season with a knee injury. One of their senior leaders, a huge part of last year's squad that made the GAC championship game. And then freshman Gillette Oglesby out for the season with a knee injury as well. She's leading the conference in scoring at 19.4 points per game and leads the team in rebounding at 6.6 rebounds per game. Both tremendous losses for this Arkansas Tech team, and one that they are trying to overcome on the fly, led by juniors Jayana Sanders and Kavanche Stackhouse. Senior Ryan Goodsell has been a force in the paint, as has junior transfer Brenda De Silva. Cowley Junior College transfer averaged 13.4 points per game over her 2 seasons there at Cowley Junior College. Comes in averaging 9 points per game and 5.5 rebounds per game. She got 2 double-doubles this season against Arkansas Monticello and Southern Arkansas. Had just 2 points and 3 rebounds in the win against East Central, though, on Saturday. So it should be a great opportunity for the SNU women to bounce back from Saturday's loss, and equally important for the men to bounce back as well. And Emily, it's been a great ride so far for Coach Trent May in his 2 years here. And first of all, welcome to the broadcast. How exciting is this for you?
Oh, I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Emily, when you watch this Crimson Storm team, what kind of stands out to you about the squad?
Oh, I mean, they're just a really good team, and they trust each other, and they got each other's back, and it's just incredible to watch them play, and I'm excited to see what they bring tonight. Should be a great matchup.
Again, SNU won the 2 regular season games last season, a 68-54 win in Russellville and a 72-59 win here in Bethany. But the game that sticks out between these two was the semifinal matchup in the Great American Conference Championships in Bartlesville, an 87-84 overtime loss for the Crimson Storm. Gianna Sanders with a three-pointer deep in front of her own bench with 7 seconds left to tie the score. And then in overtime, Adeline Schopfer had a chance to tie with 5 seconds left, but missed both free throws, and SNU went down in heartbreaking fashion to the Golden Suns in that one. Coach Trent May mentioned that it was a motivating factor in off-season. Not quite as much this week, just with everything going on and the focus clearly being on one game at a time in conference season. But you can rest assured that the players on the squad that experienced that last season will be looking for a little bit of revenge on their part and wash the bad taste out of their mouths from the last time these two teams met. With that said, we'll go ahead and pitch it over to head coach Trent May and talk with him about the Golden Suns and what he expects from his squad here in tonight's performance. Joined now by SNU head coach Trent May, discussing tonight's game against Arkansas Tech. And Coach, what's the bounce back been like for your team after losses this season?
It's been well. It's gone well. I think the thing that we just got to focus on is not what the result just happened is, but what the result we're looking for next. And so whether it's after a good win, because you can still have a good win and not play well. So it's again just meeting our standards and making sure that there's progress throughout the whether it's a couple practices or a week of practice or whatever you have, it may be you got to really focus on what's next in your opponent and how you match up with them and continuing to raise our standards.
What's the balance of allowing a loss to motivate versus it starting to hinder your preparation for the next game? How do you balance that?
I think it's it's how are you losing? If you're if you talk about bounce back and what's going to change the next game is again that progression of what your standards are. But it's like did you what way did you lose? There's always something that it's kind of glaring of what happens in a defeat. And for us lately it's taking care of the ball, plain and simple. And so we have got to get better at that. And it's when you look at a culmination of things. From last game specifically, is they capitalized on offensive rebounds and they capitalized off our turnovers, and simply that's our mistakes. That's not a skill. Rebounding's not a skill. It's not for me anyway. Maybe for other coaches. For me, it's just it's determination. It's hard work. It's effort. It's toughness, and so that's so we did do a good job with that, and then also just taking care of the ball, and that happens to be our decisions. A team's not even if they're pressing and trapping and doing all that kind of stuff. You understand a little bit. There might be a few more turnovers, but when the team's not doing that at all, and you're still making poor decisions, that's the thing we got to get better at. So, regardless if we would have won that game on Saturday and then come into this one, it's like we got to get better at the things that we're capable of.
Offensively, Sonia and Abby had a good weekend shooting the basketball. How important is their production to your efficiency offensively?
That's good. I mean, any player shoots the ball well. Obviously, that's good production. What we're looking for. We can't be good at one strength and have too many other weaknesses. Bring down that strength. And so that's the part about going. It's good that that production is there, but it's kind of balances out at zero in my opinion. Back to flat line, if you will, of just going when you have other things that are bringing those things down. So you can shoot the ball well all day long, but if you're not rebounding well and taking care of the ball, it's kind of a moot point.
We talked in preseason about the loss to Tech in the conference tournament last year being a motivator through the offseason. Have you noticed that affecting this week's preparation at all with the team?
Not really. It's such a in a coach's mind and the way that we lost. It's I can think about it almost every day. if you really try, I think that it's so far removed that it's on to the next game and they have different personnel and we obviously have a little bit of different things that we're doing, and so I don't think it's really, similar. And it's just we just got to remember, if there's anything when it comes to end of game situations, we can always refer to this, like we have a couple times going, hey, if we ever get down in this situation, this is a reminder, this is what we do, and this is what we will do. And so that's just a reference point in that sense. But it's, I think, the fact that every game is important this year, and it's every game that you're looking to win and have separation of the conference is the key.
What is your role in motivating your players as a coach? I mean, are you the sole source of it, or do you want them to come to you last as a source for motivation?
No, I think it's always important. I think it's you've got to motivate them in a way that it's like them. Sometimes people always talk about confidence, and my thing when it comes to confidence and having somebody believe in what they do versus motivation. Confidence confidence is displayed. A lot of people, it's funny in the world of sports, it's always, oh, the coach took my confidence. That's obviously what you do not want to do. But also, when I say confidence is displayed, going, if you can't shoot the ball, I can tell you all day you can shoot the ball, but if you're not shooting the ball, it's pretty factual. It's like we have stats. Stats are in everywhere. It's part of the analytic part of the game, and it's from the NBA all the way down to high school. And there's it's amazing how many resources there are today to follow analytics. And so that's the part about going, how well are you doing something? And so what you want to do is find those weaknesses and try to improve on those. But at the end of the day, if you can't shoot the basketball, I can tell you all day long. But again, the facts are facts. The stats are the stats. Just like I can say, hey, we're doing a good job taking care of the ball, but I would be incorrect in saying that because of the stats. So that's the difference of motivating versus, giving the confidence. The motivation part is making sure that they're at their very best mentally, making sure that we have a person who comes in, and Nikki Dybel, who's the assistant women's volleyball coach here, she comes in and she was also a women's basketball player here as well, so I got to give her some credit on that. But she comes in and she does some mental training with our girls, which is really key. But it's like with anything, if you're not practicing those things, you can't get better. If somebody comes in and works you out once a week, there's not going to be the progression of that. So we talk about the mental training, we talk about the the stick-to-itiveness in your workouts and the preparation, the things that you can control to get better at. We need to focus on those things. This time of year, if there's a skill you can get better at on your own, you need to be honing in on that skill versus waiting to practice, see what coach has us do today, because it's like class. There's A students and there's F students, and they go to the same class. They're in there for the same amount of time. They hear the same voice, and some really get it and some really don't. And that's the same thing with sports. I mean, just because you come to a 2-hour practice does not mean you get everything that you possibly need. So we talk about that. What are your individual responsibilities? And are you motivated? Come back to motivation. Are you motivated to do those things specifically to make you better, which in turn makes us better? So I think as a coach, you're continually hoping they find ways to, one, be self-motivated, but it's also our point to make sure that we, as coaches, are pouring into them and making sure that, hey, that we're filling their cup up as well, with encouragement, with, hey, you can do this. Here's a key to do this. There's a big ding going, hey, you can shoot the ball, or I can tell you how to shoot the ball. Does that make sense? So you got to be motivating in the things that are going to make them successful at the same time, both on and off the court.
Tech recently lost 2 starters for the season, reshaping their roster a little bit. How does that affect them, just from a coach's perspective of what they're going through right now?
Well, they lost a lot of scoring, and anybody, no matter if it's your competition or not, you hate when any player at any level loses, an opportunity to be on the floor. And so for them, I think it's they're trying to find a new identity, but don't count them out. They're a really tough team, and they're well coached, and they're going to play hard, and they're not hanging their heads. They know they can compete with a lot of teams, and they're going to look to do that. And so obviously it changes their rotation, and they lose a lot of scoring. But that they still play hard, and they're still looking for opportunities to be tops in the conference as well.
Coach, thanks for your time, and best of luck against the Gold.
That's SNU head coach Trent May, prepared for a great matchup with the Golden Suns. And we will go ahead and take a quick break as we get prepared for the national anthem and the introductions of the starting lineups. We'll have those for you on the other side right after this here on the SNU Athletics Video Network and Crossover Radio Sports. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Bobby Martin Court here at the Sawyer Center. Starting lineups being introduced for both teams right now. We'll go ahead and run through those for you real quick. First for the visiting Golden Suns of Arkansas Tech. Number 2, Kevonshea Stackhouse, junior from West Helena, Arkansas. Number 11, Jayana Sanders, junior from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Number 24, freshman Kaylee Shipman from Mountain View, Arkansas. Number 32, Ryan Goodsell, senior from Springdale, Arkansas. And number 34, Sarah Hurd, freshman from Australia. For the Crimson Storm, same starting lineup we've seen all season long. Number 2, J.C. Soap, the sophomore from Stillwell, Oklahoma. Number 5, Alexis Jones, junior from Burleson, Texas. Number 14, Abby Nehus, junior from down the road in Mustang, Oklahoma. Number 20, Sonia Sarda, sophomore from Spain. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 22, Kennedy Gillette, junior from Edmond, Oklahoma, and Heritage Hall High School. SNU again coming in 7-3, 4-2 in conference play. The Golden Suns with an identical record. Teams in a 5-way tie for second in the conference, chasing Southeastern Oklahoma State, which rallied from their lone conference defeat here December 14th, a 72-60 win for the Crimson Storm in that game, and swept Harding and Arkansas Tech over the weekend in big fashion. So everyone chasing the Savage Storm. Big game down in Durant tonight as the Savage Storm take on Arkansas Monticello. We're all set for action here. Emily, a couple high-powered teams in this one, and what do you think are the keys for tonight's game for the Crimson Storm?
I think one of the biggest key here is just to limit our turnovers and just keep attempting to make shots. And I mean, I think that's the only way that we're going to be able to put those scores up there.
SNU again, 18 turnovers per game, 8th in the conference. One of the best shooting teams in the conference, second overall in field goal percentage at 43.2. They're number 1 in three-point percentage, 37.5% this season. In conference play, it gets even better, 47% from the field. That's number 2 in the conference, and still number 1 in three-point percentage at 41.4%. Starting lineups out on the court, SNU in the home whites with the red trim. SNU across the front with red numerals. The Golden Suns counter with their golden jerseys, green trim around the shoulders. Arkansas Tech on the front with white numbers and green trim. All set to go here. Trent May on one bench, Dave Wilbur's on the other, and Alexis Jones comes in battling for the loose ball on the tip, and Arkansas Tech comes away with it. Sanders up top on the right wing now. SNU coming out in a man-to-man zone. Entry pass to Hurd, dumps it down low to Goodsell with Kennedy Gillette on her, and Goodsell scores with the left hand right off the bat. It's going to be a tough matchup inside for the Crimson Storm all night long. Golden Suns, 6 players on the roster, 6 foot or taller. Soap with it on the left wing. Now moves back to the top of the key looking for some help. Now gives it to Alexis Jones. She penetrates on Sanders, and a foul coming up on Jayana Sanders. Good aggressive drive there on that first possession for Alexis Jones. Jones 75% from the line this season, much improved over the past 2 years. I think there was some conversation between the officials if it was going to be a shooting foul or not. Most definitely was. Jones in and out on the first free throw. One more coming. SNU just 11th as a team, though, in free throw shooting. 66.3% thus far this season. Jones splits the pair. SNU trails 2-1. 9:18 to go here in the first quarter. A little bit of full court pressure extended. Goodsell gets it across the timeline to Stackhouse. Stackhouse leading the team in three-pointers made with 15, also shooting 46.9%. Sanders from the baseline, long with the jumper. Good box out there by Nehus. Rebound comes to Alexis Jones, who's third in the conference in rebounds, 8.3 per game. So, right wing working on the freshman Shipman. Pass goes through the hands of Sarda, but she tracks it down in front of half court. Sarda will pull the trigger for three from the right wing. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And Sonia Sarda continues her hot play of late. 14.5 points per game last weekend. She was 12 of 18 from the field and 4 of 5 from deep. Shipman, right wing, working on Soap. Gets inside from 15 feet. It's off the mark, no good. Again, Nihus with a nice box out. Sarda harassed in the backcourt by Stackhouse, but gets it across no problem. Sarda behind the Nihus pick. Goes unabated to the rim, but is blocked by Goodsell. Good help defense there by the senior. Stackhouse in the open court trying to get through Gillette, and she does, off the glass for two. Tied up at 4. 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Gillette on the right wing. Now Jones with it. Back to Gillette. Thought about a three. Now she'll take it over Goodsell and splash for Kennedy Gillette. SNU starts 2 for 2 from three-point range. Holds a 7-4 lead. Gillette 3 for 6 from deep last weekend. Shooting 45.5% from three this season. Hurd holding up top now. Hands off to Sanders from the NCAA logo. Sanderson's Shipman up to the top of the key. Goodsell working hard on Gillette. Gets the entry pass. Good help defense from Nihus. Altered the shot. And SNU coming away with the miss. Jones, right wing. Entry pass to Gillette. Shut down there by Goodsell. Finds the cutting Jones all the way to the basket, and she finishes with the left hand. Beautiful cut by Jones, and a nice pass there from Gillette, who was shut off nicely again by Goodsell. Sanders behind the Hurd pick. She'll fire up a three. In and out. No good. And Gillette has the rebound for SNU. Soap right wing. Given space. She'll pull the trigger and knock down another one. SNU raining threes down early. Timeout from Dave Wilbers. It'll be a full timeout, so we'll take it too. 6:23 to go, first quarter. SNU up 12-4. This is SNU basketball. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leads 12-4, courtesy of a 3 of 3 start from behind the arc. SNU was torched on Saturday by Henderson State from deep as the Reddies win 11 of 20. But Emily, it's been SNU raining down from three thus far.
Oh yeah, their three-point game has been on point. I mean, if you look at JC Soap's three-point stats, I mean they're just above average.
SNU back to action here. Substitutions for the Golden Suns as Alicia Peavy into the game for the first time along with Brenda Da Silva. Da Silva, the transfer from Rio de Janeiro, and she's blocked by Abby Nihus on her first attempt. Goes out of bounds. Da Silva stands 6'3". Peavy at 6'1". So again, the bigs keep coming in for Arkansas Tech. Peavy up top. Goes left to the elbow, shut down by Gillette. Sanders with it now, 10 on the shot clock. Swings it across to Stackhouse. Stackhouse behind the Peavy pick. Shut down on the baseline. Peavy, she'll fire up a long three from the left wing. Well off the mark, no good. And Abby Nihus clears for SNU. Sarda behind the Nihus pick. Looked for the roll, not there. Soap now right wing. She'll fire up another three from there. Oh, JC Soap, 2 for 2 from deep. Given too much space by the freshman Shipman. JC Soap already with 2 3-pointers for the Crimson Storm, which leads 15-4. 5.5 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Sanders looking for the entry pass. Tipped, saved by Abby Nehus. And SNU coming back the other way. Alexis Jones 1-on-2. Waits for some help to come. Now sends it back up top to Sarda. Jones given plenty of space by Sanders. Shipman closes out much tighter on Soap this time at the top of the key. Jones in the paint. Looked like she was hacked. Abby Nehus there for the miss and lays it in with the left hand. SNU doing whatever they want offensively right now and leads 17-4 halfway through the first quarter. Shipman, well outside, guarded by Soap, goes all the way to the basket. High off the glass, no good, and Sarda has the rebound. Coming up the far sideline. Swings it over to Jones in front of the Tech bench. Thought about the three, instead drives into the paint. Kick corner. Sarda, she'll fire up a three. Short, no good. And De Silva has the rebound. First three-point miss for SNU in 5 attempts. Good look from Sarda, though. Shipman across the lane, off the glass and good. That stops a 13-0 run for the Crimson Storm, which leads 17-6, 3:54 to go here in the first quarter. It's like Tech in a 2-3 zone here. Get out of the shooting fire that SNU's been raining down thus far. Sarda shut off on the baseline by Peavy. Dumps it over to Gillette. 3 on the shot clock. Has to fire up an 18-footer as the shot clock was winding down, and she knocked it down. Kennedy Gillette, 5 early points on 2 of 2 shooting. And the lead back to 13 for SNU. Stackhouse, left wing. Peavy tries to dump it down to De Silva. She's got it. Nehus, good verticality there. And De Silva unable to get the shot to go. Jones goes all the way to the basket. Has it knocked out of her hands by Stackhouse, and a foul going up on Kavan Shea Stackhouse. With 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Emily, SNU off and running early.
Oh my, yes. When given the chance, SNU, we just put the ball up there and make them.
Michaela Eisler into the game for the first time. Places Abby Nehus. SNU with a little bit of a, no, we won't say post-issue, but certainly a little bit of post-trouble. Miriam Garcia, not sure if she's available. She did go through warm-ups, but is probably only going to be used in a dire emergency situation. SNU did bring up Macy Atala from the JV squad as well. Freshman from Piedmont is available if needed. Pass there for Goodsell is deflected out of bounds. We'll stay here with 23 on the shot clock. Substitutions for Arkansas Tech. Ashley Breathitt into the game for the first time. Ryan Goodsell back in. So very big lineup on the court right now for Arkansas Tech as Dave Wilbers tries to get anything going. Sanders from the corner knocks down the three. First three-pointer for the Golden Suns. Cuts the lead to 21-9 with 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. Soap up top. Now Sarda with it. Tech remaining in that 2-3 zone here. Soap in the middle of the lane from the foul line. That's good. JC Soap getting into the middle of the zone and knocking down the 12-footer. Sanders shut off nicely on the baseline. Fires it cross court to Peavy. Good closeout there. A nice help defense by Eisler. Goodsell tries to dump it over to De Silva. Gillette jumps over there. Eisler gets on the floor for it. Jones as well, and Soap is the one who comes away with it for SNU. Under 2 minutes to go. They swing it around the perimeter. Sarda shut off on the baseline, shovels it over to Eisler, back out to Sarda. Soap, deep three from the top of the key. Oh, just a little short there. Goodsell has the rebound, and up ahead to Breathitt. She'll hold top of the key. Now swings it over to Sarda. 18-footer for Sanders is off the mark, and Soap has the miss for SNU. Gillette left wing. As SNU swings it around the perimeter, looking for the best shot. Soap will fire up another three. It's off the front of the iron, no good. Maybe a little bit early in the shot clock there for the Crimson Storm. Goodsell up ahead of the field, too strong with the left hand. And Sarda will walk it up as we're down to a minute to go here in the first quarter. SNU has led almost from the start. A quick 2-0 lead for Arkansas Tech. SNU wiped that out very quickly. They've started 4 of 5 from the three-point line. That shot blocked. Goodsell has it knocked out of her hands by Sarda, and it goes out of bounds. Substitutions aplenty here for both squads. Addison Foster into the game for SNU. Hurd is back in for Tech along with Abby James and Stackhouse. James pushing it up the far sideline. Leaves it for Breathitt on the right wing. They swing it across to Stackhouse, behind the back dribble. Tried to get free for the step back. Pass deflected, but Hurd comes up with it. Goodsell at the foul line, dumps it down low to James. Good defense there. Breathitt nearly lost it in the corner, saves it to Goodsell. 4 on the shot clock. Stackhouse has to fire a deep three from the top of the key, and it goes out of bounds with an air ball as the shot clock expires. Terrific defensive rotations there for the Crimson Storm. And they'll have the final shot of the quarter, leading 23-9. SNU 8 of 14 from the field, 4 of 7 from deep. Arkansas Tech just 4 of 15 so far here in the first quarter. Isler drives to the basket. Foul is going to be on the floor. So SNU will inbound on the baseline with 5.9 seconds left. Good aggressive drive from Isler, who the senior does not play very often, but getting some good first quarter minutes here and making the most of them with that aggressive drive, putting the ball on the floor. Jones will be the inbounder. Gets Sarda on across the cut, across the lane, too strong. And then a foul coming up on Sarda. A bit of a frustration foul there as she missed the little bunny. Nice play design there between Jones and Sarda, but just unable to get the shot to go. Stackhouse in the backcourt. And that's how the first quarter is going to come to an end. A dominant first quarter for the Crimson Storm as they shoot 8 of 15 from the field and knock down 4 3-pointers. At the end of one, it's SNU 23 and Arkansas Tech 9. We'll be right back after this here on the SNU Video Network and Crossover Radio Sports. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU, a tremendous first quarter, 23-9. The lead for the Storm over the Golden Suns of Arkansas Tech. Luke McConnell here alongside Emily Jackson. Thanks for joining us. The first home game of 2020 for the Crimson Storm as SNU leads, again, 23-9, courtesy of an 8 of 15 performance from the field. J.C. Soap already with 8 points. She's knocked down 2 of 4 3-pointers in the quarter as well. Irene Perez into the game for the first time this evening. Michaela Eisler sits down. Abby Nehus back in. Good minutes for Eisler. Shipman knocks it away from Alexis Jones, and teams battle for it, and got a jump ball situation as Stackhouse able to tie Jones up. Jones comes up a little bit woozy, might have gotten knocked in the head or face in all that. She looks all right. And Shipman in the backcourt will bring it across for Tech. Shipman averaging 8.3 points per game and shooting 40% from three-point range. Sarda slipped on defense, and Shipman took advantage going right over top. And that's going to be number 2 on Sonia Sarda. So the first negative thing really for SNU thus far. Sarda will have to take a seat. Cassandra Awad into the game for the first time. Awad got a little bit of early run against Henderson State. Entry pass to Hurd is knocked away out of bounds by Abby Nehus. Nehus doing a very nice job fronting as Arkansas Tech posts. In on the court right now for Arkansas Tech, it's Hurd, Goodsell, Shipman, James, and Stackhouse. Shipman from the corner in front of the SNU bench knocks down the three-pointer. Second three-pointer of the game for the Golden Suns. And the lead is 11 for SNU. 9:17 to go here in the first quarter, or excuse me, in the first half. Tech back in a man-to-man here. As Perez works to the right wing. Foster thought about the three, instead drives all the way to the basket, blocked by Hurd. And Stackhouse coming the other way. Stackhouse working on the freshman Awat. Shipman will try another three, in and out, no good. Shipman drives, kicks to Hurd on the baseline. Baseline fans thought that went out of bounds. James steps in for a long two. It's no good. And Perez has the miss. And she's run over and fouled by Hurd.
Personal foul against the Golden Suns, number 34, Sarah Hurd, her second personal.
Tech a little erratic offensively. Credit the SNU defense for that. Tech 5 of 18 from the field thus far. Just 2 turnovers. SNU just a single turnover in that first quarter. So a great start on that front for the Crimson Storm. Awat from the right elbow. Good confident stroke. It's off to the right. And Shipman, long lead pass, intercepted by Nehus. 2-on-1 break, Jones and Perez unable to hold on to the pass from Jones. Just when we start talking about turnovers, SNU commits one there, just their second of the game. A good opportunity missed on the 2-on-1 break. Gianna Sanders back into the game for Abby James. Behind the back dribble, gets her to the top of the key. Hurd with the 15-foot jumper, that's good. Sarah Hurd stepping out and hitting the jump shot, just shooting 34.5% this year, but 5.3 rebounds, or excuse me, 5.3 points and 4.3 rebounds this season. Foster, left wing, she'll try a three-pointer. It's no good. Hurd and Nehus battle for the rebound. Jones comes away with it. Perez a little bit slow to get off the floor. Driving kick. Awat will try the left wing three. That's an air ball. Foster running the baseline nicely. Tracks down the offensive miss. Jones in the lane. Floater is long. No good. SNU battling for the offensive rebound, and we're going to get a foul on Irene Perez, crashing the offensive glass. First foul on Perez. Second team foul on the Crimson Storm. And J.C. Soap back into the game for Cassandra Awat. Coach Trent May looking for some depth on his bench. Been a little inconsistent over the course of the first 10 games. Goodsell from the right elbow extended, knocks down the jumper. It's a 7-0 run over the last 5 minutes of game action for Tech. SNU started hot from the field, but have only gone one of their last 10. Foster thought about the three, instead drives in. Trapped across the lane, shovels it over to Nehus. And a 3-second violation is going to be called on SNU. Third turnover of the game for the Crimson Storm, and the drought extends to 5.5 minutes now. SNU still leading by 7, 23-16. They've led by as many as 15 here in the first half. Shipman goes away from the Goodsell pick, down the lane, up off the glass, and good. So the run now 9-0 for the Golden Suns, and they're right back in this at 23-18. Nehus top of the key, looking for some cuts, finds Jones left wing. Foster hands off to Soap, now gets it back. She'll fire for a three from in front of the Arkansas Tech bench. It's off the mark, no good. Perez gets the offensive rebound, and she's fouled. It's going to go on Shipman. It's going to be her first, second team foul. Substitutions aplenty for both squads. Peavy back in along with De Silva. Kennedy Gillette and Sonia Sarda back in for SNU, and Julia Schwacke at the scores table set to check in for Perez. Hasn't been the ideal senior season for Perez thus far. Had 12 points against Ouachita in 18 minutes, both season highs on Thursday night, but Coach Tremaine said just needing more aggression from her and consistency. Just 2.6 points per game. Goes 1 for 2 at the foul line. De Silva clears the miss. Quickly up ahead to Shipman. Sonia Sarda the only one back. Shipman goes right over her, left it short. Nehus flying in for the rebound. Goes out of bounds off Nehus. It'll be Tech basketball. 20 on the shot clock as Schwacke checks in for Perez. And the shot clock squared away. Offensive rebounds reset to 20. Sanders working on Sarda, drives baseline, shovels it over to De Silva, who goes over Sarda, missed the shot a little bit strong, and Gillette has the miss. Schwacke, left wing, goes behind the Gillette pick, sends it back to Sarda. Sarda down the lane. Missed the shot. Peavy tips the rebound to Shipman, who tips it back to Peavy, who sends it quickly ahead to Sanders. Hits it over to Stackhouse. Missed the layup, and Gillette snatches that rebound away. SNU now one of their last 12 from the field. Started the game really well. They're 0 for 7 here in the second quarter, and just a single point after putting up 23 in the first. Soap, hesitation, is bumped and fouled by De Silva. Third team foul on the Golden Suns. Be the first foul on De Silva. Emily, it seems the offense has just stagnated a little bit so far for the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, I just think they just need to get some more confidence in them. I mean, they'll get on their streak again.
Kennedy Gillette in the lane, right on cue. Knocks down the nice 10-foot turnaround. Gillette up to 7 points. The lead back to 8 in the first field goal of the second quarter. Stackhouse tries to go through Abby Nehus, no good, and J.C. Soap high for the miss. Sarda checked by Stackhouse, dribbles between the circles. Nehus trying to get post position on De Silva. She's got it. Off the backboard, no good. Battle for the rebound. Comes down to De Silva. And a jump ball is going to be called by the baseline official. Fortunate for SNU, as it looked like Abby Nehus had a lot more arm and hand than basketball. And Coach Dave Wilbur's letting him know about it. That'll take us to a timeout on the court. 4:17 to go here in the first half. SNU clinging to an 8-point lead, 26-18. We'll be right back after this here on the SNU Video Network and Crossover Radio Sports. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading by 8, 26-18. Just knocked down their first field goal of the second quarter, and Emily they've just been a little bit out of sync offensively since a great first quarter.
Yes.
So SNU with the basketball after the jump ball here on the baseline, forced by Abby Nehus. Sonia Sarda inbounding. Gets it to Nehus, who hands off to JC Soap. Same lineups on the court for both teams, minus Ashley Breathitt checking in for Kavanche Stackhouse. Soap, right wing, working on the freshman Shipman. Gillette stops, kick back out. Soap, across the lane, kick left wing. Schwacke will fire up a three. It's off the back iron, no good. Good look from Schwacke, but Sanders coming away. Leaves it to De Silva running the court nicely. Throws it off the back of Schwacke, and it goes out of bounds. Looked like De Silva might have taken some steps before putting the ball on the ground, but to no avail there. Sanders inbounding on the baseline, dumps it into De Silva, nearly ripped away by Sarda. Gets it back from Sanders, missed the shot. Gillette has the tipped miss. And SNU desperate for some field goals here. Just 1 of 10 here in the second quarter. Fortunately, Arkansas Tech not much better at just 4 of 11. Schwacke right wing. Now sends it back up to Gillette. Nehus and De Silva working hard inside, and they're going to get De Silva with her second foul. Substitutions for Arkansas Tech. Bianca Blades, another Australian, onto the court for the first time. Sarah Hurd back in as well. Sarda behind the Nehus pick off the inbounds. Kicks it out to Schwacke. Schwacke goes all the way to the basket. Layup is good. Julia Schwacke with the finger roll. Pushes the lead back to 10 for SNU. First points for Schwacke in a few games. SNU leads 28-18.
That was a great play by Julia Schwacke right there.
Hurd is long with the jump shot. Gillette snatches that rebound away. Already the 5th rebound for Kennedy Gillette. In the corner now, sends it back to Soap. 13 on the shot clock is Sarda working against Sanders. Sarda all the way to the bucket. Wild shot's no good. Abby Nehus has the rebound, has it ripped away by Blades, and that's going to be a tie-up. Go the other way with this one. Stackhouse back into the game. Shipman will take a seat. Again, Arkansas Tech working without their leading scorer, Jalea Oglesby, averaging 19.4 points per game, but out for the season with a knee injury. Also missing another starter, Hannah Valines, 10 points, 5 rebounds per game. Still the team's leading steals person this season. Sanders hiding behind the Blades pick. She'll fire it up for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Hurd the offensive rebound, bumped and fouled by Nehus, and Hurd will go to the line for 2 free throws. 13th foul on the Crimson Storm. First on Nehus. So SNU doing okay foul situation-wise inside. Again, moved up JV player Macy Atala in the event that there were any issues with fouls. Hurd goes 1 for 2 at the line. Alexis Jones checking in for Sarda, not wanting to pick up her 3rd foul with 2 minutes to go before halftime. Mimi Garcia also appears to be unavailable tonight for the Crimson Storm with an injury. So SNU a little thin at the post, a place Arkansas Tech is more than deep. Schwacke, top of the key, wide open for 3, just off the mark, no good, and Sanders has the rebound. Pushing tempo all the way to the basket, steps around Schwacke, who tried to take the charge. Sanders missed the shot. Jones has it. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 now. Soap up ahead, missed it too strong, and Blades has it. Now a foul going to be called on Alexis Jones, a little too aggressive in the backcourt with Kavanche Stackhouse. That's two big numbers, fast breaks that SNU has been unable to capitalize on. As SNU leads by 9, 28-19, a minute and a half to go. Shipman is back in for Breathitt, and Peavy back in for Hurd. Shipman quickly into the front court, drives all the way, stops at the second block. Kick out Stackhouse, left wing for three. It's good. Gianna Sanders coming in, just 29% from three-point range. Having a tough season shooting the ball. But that three-pointer draws the Golden Suns to within 6. SNU still just 5 points here in the second quarter. Soap behind the Nehus pick, drives all the way to the basket. Tries to finish with the left hand, no good. Nehus hacked and fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. So we're under a minute to go here in the first half. Nehus hits every part of the rim on that first one. Unable to get that one to go. Shooting 50% from the foul line this season. Certainly below her career averages. And missed that second one off the back iron. Kenny Gillette tracks down the rebound in the corner. Sends it up top to Soap. SNU with a fresh possession here. They're going to need to adjust the shot clock as it should have reset to 20. So we'll knock 10 seconds off, and SNU will inbound in the corner with 50 seconds to go before halftime. 14 on the shot clock now for the Crimson Storm. Soap with 9. Checked by Stackhouse. Soap got Stackhouse in the air, got free at the top of the key, and she knocked it down. Great patience from Soap to let Stackhouse fly by, and that's a third three-pointer of the first half for JC Soap. First player in double figures with 11. And SNU looking for one last stop before halftime as Sanders pounds a hole in the floor between the circles. Five on the shot clock as Sanders makes her move. Jones, tremendous defense. Sanders, wild shots, no good. Nehus the miss. And that'll take us to halftime here at the Sawyer Center. Great start to the game for SNU. Tailed off a little bit there in that second quarter. Just 3 of 16 from the field in the second quarter. But at the break, SNU with a 9-point lead, 31-22. We'll take a timeout when we come back. We will go over the first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half of action. Again, at halftime, it's SNU 31, Arkansas Tech 22. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. Halftime here for SNU, which leads 31-22 against Arkansas Tech. Luke McConnell here alongside Emily Jackson. And Emily, a great start for the Crimson Storm there in that first quarter. 23-9 the lead after one, but a 3 of 16 performance in the second quarter from the field. Did you see anything different from Tech defensively, or is it SNU just missing some open shots?
I think that the biggest thing that I could see is just that when we had those two breakaways, that they just didn't capitalize on those two breakaways.
SNU unable to take advantage there, unable to take advantage as well in the paint thus far. SNU tied in the paint at 8 with Arkansas Tech, leading 6-1 in second chance points. SNU 7 offensive rebounds in that first half and 4 for Arkansas Tech. Arkansas Tech came into the game 15.1 offensive rebounds per game. It's good for number 3 in the conference. Big part of that, though, was Gillette Oglesby. She was one of the best in the conference when she got hurt, so Arkansas Tech really missing her on the boards, as well as Hannibal Lines, who was averaging 5.2 per game before she went out with an injury as well. Going over the first half stats for you, SNU leading on the boards 24-18 overall. SNU again, 8 of 15 in the first quarter, 3 of 16 in the second quarter from the field. Overall, 11 of 31 from the field, just 35.5%. They were 5 of 13 from three-point range, 38.5%, and 4 of 8 from the foul line. Arkansas Tech, 29% from the field, 37.5% from three-point range, 3 of 8, and just 1 of 2 from the foul line in the first half. SNU trailing in points off turnovers. Arkansas Tech able to take SNU's 3 turnovers and turn those into 7 points, just 2 points for SNU off of 3 Arkansas Tech turnovers. And SNU and Arkansas Tech tied at 2 in fast break points there in the first half. Individually for SNU, 2 points for Abby Nehus, along with 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. She did miss a pair of free throws late there in the first half. JC Soap leads all scorers with 11 points, 4 of 8 from the field, and 3 of 5 from three-point range. Sonia Sarda, 3 points, just 1 of 7 from the field, though. 4 rebounds and 2 assists. She did have 2 fouls in that first half, the only player for SNU in foul trouble. Kennedy Gillette, 7 points, 7 rebounds in that first half. Alexis Jones, 5 points, 3 assists in the first half, one game after 0 assists and 7 turnovers against Henderson State last Saturday. 2 points for Julia Schwacke off the bench and 1 point for Irene Perez off the bench. 6 points for Jayana Sanders, 7 points for Kaylee Shipman leading the way for Arkansas Tech. 3 rebounds, 2 assists for Sanders as well, who's just 2 of 8 from the field. 2 points for Kavanche Stackhouse, 4 points for Ryan Goodsell along with 3 rebounds, 3 points for Sarah Hurd, and no points off the bench thus far for Arkansas Tech. Again, Arkansas Tech not much better from the field in that first half, or even in that second quarter for SNU. Just 5 of 16 for the Golden Suns in the second quarter. SNU men coming up next on the other side of this one. We'll go ahead and pitch it over to head coach Adam Bohot here on the radio side. Get you ready for SNU and Arkansas Tech taking on the Wonder Boys here at the Sawyer Center right after the women's game. Here's head coach Adam Bohot.
Joined now by SNU head coach Adam Bohot discussing tonight's game against Arkansas Tech. Coach, tough weekend in Arkadelphia last weekend. What's the message to the team this week from you?
Yeah, I think the message is just we got to continue to get better. We got whipped really good on Saturday, and Henderson was better than us in a lot of different ways, and so trying to grow and get better this week.
What's the bounce back typically like for your guys? How long does it take them to kind of flush out a loss and get back to focus on the week ahead?
Yeah, I think, our seniors have a good understanding of kind of the next right thing, and good or bad, that's really, when you boil it down, the best approach. So when you get beat, you try to grow and you get back and have a really good Monday and a really good Tuesday and a really good Wednesday and try to put it all together so you can play well on Thursdays.
You mentioned Mike and Jonathan have done a good job of that specifically. How big is that for the young guys to see Micah specifically bounce back, especially after a tough shooting weekend for him?
Yeah, I think, our whole group, everybody in the room looks to those two to see how they respond to anything. And that's just kind of a natural thing, and that's why leadership is so important, and why we're thankful to have those two.
It seems like a little bit of amplified meaning to this game, with Tech coming in off two really big wins against Southeastern and East Central, and you guys coming in looking to bounce back. Do you kind of view it that way, just kind of stopping the momentum both ways?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't spent any energy or time talking like that. I think it's a big game for us because it's our next one, and it's a conference home game. And those things are like gold. You have to try to get them at home here. And so trying to grow this week, I think we have, and trying to put it all together today here tonight.
We saw Arkansas Tech put up almost 1,000 three-point attempts last year with a lot of new faces for them on their roster. Are we going to see a similar offense for Tech tonight?
Yeah, boy, they're still real talented and real high-powered and are very capable from there. Maybe a couple of their new guys aren't as one-dimensional or aren't able to quite, have 9 and 10 three-point games like a couple of those guys they lost last year, but still very dynamic, maybe more dynamic offensively, seem to really be together, and Glasper's just doing an outstanding job. So they're really good offensively and much improved defensively as well.
Obviously, Henderson's performance on Saturday skews the numbers a little bit just with how hot they were from three, but what are some ways that you can improve on the three-point line defensively?
Yeah, I thought we lost them a little bit in transition. They're very good in transition. We were inept on offense, and again, credit Henderson on Saturday for some of that. But it put them in transition and a broken floor, and boy, it's hard to scramble and get matched there. And they made some that way. We made mistakes on our ball screen coverage a little bit, and they made a couple that way as well. And so, it has to all fit together. You have to get back and get set, and I think that's step number one to having a chance to guard, and then identifying the guys that can really shoot it, and making certain that the mistakes aren't made in a fashion to allow them to shake loose. And so, we'll have to be really tight on all those things here today.
Coach, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck against the Wonder Boys.
Awesome. Thank you, Luke.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. About a minute and a half to go in halftime. Both teams back on the court and getting loose for the second half. Quick trip around the Great American Conference. Check on scores around the league. Southern Arkansas with a 44-41 lead over East Central at halftime. Southern Arkansas doing very well this season. Harding up 36-30 at halftime over Oklahoma Baptist over in Shawnee. Pretty tight game there for the Bison. Henderson State up 32-26 at halftime over Northwestern Oklahoma State up in Alva. Ouachita leads Southwestern Oklahoma State 33-31 at halftime. That is a very surprising score. 18 turnovers even in the first half for the Tigers. And down in Durant, Southeastern all over Arkansas Monticello 42-25 at halftime. Again, our score here 31-22 SNU as we get set for the second half of action here at the Sawyer Center. Emily, a lot going on here as SNU looking to keep the momentum going and get back in the swing of things offensively. What do you think the key is for the second half for the Crimson Storm?
I mean, they definitely don't have a problem of passing the ball around the court. They just need to get that confidence back and just start making some shots.
I believe it will be SNU with the basketball here to start the third quarter. Starters coming out on the court for both teams. SNU will look to get back going right away. And thanks for joining us here on both the SNU Video Network on YouTube and Crossover Radio Sports, your home for all SNU basketball games this season. Luke McConnell here alongside Emily Jackson. First game with students back on campus. Backdoor cut for Gillette is thrown away by Sarda. Stackhouse with the interception up ahead to Sanders. Nehus blocks her layup attempt out of bounds. And SNU will get away with that one.
Nehus's defensive game has been on point tonight.
3 blocks now for the junior from Mustang. Inbounds comes to Stackhouse. Goes behind the Goodsell pick. Tries to shovel it over to her, but Alexis Jones popped in the passing lane there and deflected that one out of bounds. So Arkansas Tech again will inbound on the baseline with 19 on the shot clock. Goodsell from the right block, too strong. And Gillette has it. Long lead pass from Jones to Soap. Comes back out, finds the cutting Jones. Around Goodsell with the left hand and lays it in. Beautiful move by Jones to get around the bigger Goodsell. A beautiful move there by the junior, and SNU leads by 11 once more. Shipman drives baseline pass, trying to get Sanders out again. Instead, it's Jones. All by herself, leaves it off for Sarda, waits for traffic to clear. She missed it, gets it back, missed it again. That's the 4th shot within a foot that SNU has missed. Sanders in transition, rattles in the 3 as nobody paid attention to that. So a breakdown on both ends there for SNU. And that's going to drive head coach Trent May mad over there on the sidelines as SNU leads by 8. Minute 20 gone by here in the third quarter. Jones left wing. Tech in a 2-3 zone here. Sarda crosses over on Stackhouse across the lane with the floater. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound comes back out to Sarda. Gillette with the 18-foot jumper off the back iron, no good. Nehus by herself battling inside. Rebounds deflected out to Sanders. Sanders step back over Soap is off the iron, no good. And Jones has it for SNU. 2-on-3 break. Jones will dribble it back out and set up the offense for the Crimson Storm. SNU getting plenty of good looks and chances at the basket. Just have been unable to get those down since the first quarter. Left wing, Gillette for 3 off the back iron, no good. Stackhouse has the miss. SNU now 1 of 6 in the quarter from the field. Hurd will fire up a 3-pointer. That's nothing but net. Sarah Hurd, just her 3rd 3-point make of the season in 10 attempts. And the lead quickly down to 5 at 33-28 on back-to-back 3-pointers from the Golden Suns. Tech stays in a 2-3 zone here. Sarda. Traveled. It's going to be the 5th turnover on the Crimson Storm. Peavy checks in for Goodsell. Not sure what Sarda was thinking she could do there. Inbounds comes to Shipman, and she'll work it across the timeline. Looking for Hurd. Hurd against Nehus. Got another block. Loose ball comes back to Hurd, and Soap with the steal. Soap finds Gillette. Right wing, steps right into the 3-pointer. It's long. Nehus high for the offensive rebound. SNU sends it back up top. Soap wide open, top of the key. She knocked it down.
She has no trouble with those 3-point shots right there.
Soap now 4 of 6 from deep. She came in number 9 in the conference at 40.3% this season. Even better in conference play, 47.2%. Shipman drives baseline. Step back 15-foot jumper is no good. Alexis Jones, another rebound for the Storm, and here they come. 3-on-2 break. Sarda leaves it over to Jones. Wide open layup is good. Timeout Arkansas Tech as SNU responds to the 6-0 run with a 5-0 run of their own. We'll take timeout too. 6:11 to go here in the third quarter. SNU leading by 10, 38-28 over the Golden Suns. We'll be right back after this.
We're getting.
SNU leading Arkansas Tech 38-28. 6:11 to go here in the third quarter. And Emily, a great response there to that 6-0 run from the Golden Suns by SNU.
Most definitely.
Same lineup out on the court right now for the Crimson Storm. Ashley Breathitt into the game along with De Silva for the Golden Suns. And it's Shipman between the circles. Stackhouse right wing. Goes away from the Peavy pick. Stackhouse has been unable to get free tonight. De Silva inside, got good position on Nehus and a nice entry pass from Peavy. And De Silva puts it in for 2. First bucket of the game for Brenda De Silva off the bench. Now 1 of 5 from the field. Nehus working hard inside. SNU unable to get it inside. 7 on the shot clock. Gillette drives all the way to the basket. Got inside of Peavy and puts it in off the glass. Good aggressive drive from Kennedy Gillette. Having a tremendous game. 4 of 7 from the field. Shipman nearly lost it. Gets it to Breathitt. Now De Silva dumps it down low to Peavy. Peavy with a size advantage on Gillette. Got inside of her and scored, and a foul coming up on Kennedy Gillette. Peavy got a little bit inside of that right shoulder of Kennedy Gillette and was able to get underneath and put it in for 2. First foul on Gillette, first foul in the third quarter for either team. Shipman checking out. Jayana Sanders back in for the Golden Suns. And Peavy puts down the free throw. 62.5% this season. And SNU leads by 7 halfway through the quarter. Soap behind the Nehus pick, finds Gillette. Now Jones back to the top of the key, swings it back to Sarda. SNU still probing. A nice entry pass to Nehus, who did a great job holding off De Silva. And she finishes with the left hand. Nice pass there from J.C. Soap. Sanders behind the back. Step back is good. Jayana Sanders. She's got some handles, that's for sure. And Sanders into double figures with 11. Gillette. Hand off to Alexis Jones. Started looking to post up Nehus. And a reach-in foul going on De Silva. That's going to be number 3 on Brenda De Silva. Nehus working hard inside this evening. And that'll take us to our official media timeout. 4:07 to go, third quarter. SNU leads by 7. 42-35 over the Golden Suns. We'll be right back after this. The offense coming back for the Crimson Storm here in the third quarter. 42-35 our score. SNU leading Arkansas Tech. SNU ball on the baseline out of this timeout. SNU 5 of 11 from the field here in the quarter. 1 of 3 from three-point range. Sarda looking to post up Alexis Jones on Sanders. Ball goes off her foot. Jones recovers, though. Gets it out to Soap. 10 on the shot clock. Soap drives by Breathitt. Kicks to Gillette. Gillette. The foul is going to be called on Goodsell, battling with Abby Nehus.
Personal foul against Wilbur, 17-32, Ryan Goodsell. First personal.
Coach Dave Wilbur's not in agreement with the call from the baseline official. Just the first on Goodsell. Second team foul on Arkansas Tech here in the third quarter. SNU flying the ball around the perimeter. Soap a little bit wide with the entry pass. Had the spot, but just a smidge wide, and Abby Nehus unable to get out and track it down. Goes for a turnover against the Crimson Storm. They're just their 6th of the evening. Pass deflected by Jones out of bounds. They reset the shot clock there as there certainly was not enough time for 2 seconds to tick off there. Stackhouse checks out. Shipman back in. And we will allow a second to tick off in that situation. So 29 on the shot clock. 3:36 to go, third quarter. SNU 42-35, leading this one. Arkansas Tech led 2-0. But SNU has led the entire way otherwise. As Sarda knocked that one away from Breathitt. And Tech inbounding now in front of the SNU bench. Deflected by Gillette, but Shipman tracks it down. Peavy will work it across the timeline and hand to Sanders between the circles. Goodsell looking for Peavy inside. Peavy will step back behind the three-point line. Now swing it back up to Breathitt. Breathitt drives, splits the defense, and lays it in. Somehow got between Gillette and Soap and laid it in unabated, cutting the lead to 5 at 42-37. Sarda behind the Nehus pick. Now Gillette, top of the key, drives by Goodsell all the way to the basket, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Licia Peavy. Kennedy Gillette to the line for 2 free throws. 85.7% at the line this season for the junior. Hurd will check in for Goodsell before the free throws. First free throw is perfect for Gillette. SNU's done a tremendous job on the boards today, leading that battle 30-23. 10 offensive rebounds for the Crimson Storm. Gillette is no good on the second, but Soap has the miss, sends it back up top to Sarda. SNU with a fresh 20. Sarda drives on Peavy, wild shot is short. SNU tips the rebound around, and Jones sends it back out to Soap. Soap will drive in, tries to split the defense. Not a good look there, and Arkansas Tech out and running. Shipman missed the layup. Gillette with a strong challenge, and SNU back the other way. So SNU dodges some bullets there. Leading by 6, 2:10 to go here in the third quarter. Sarda calling for the screen. Gets it to Gillette on the left wing. Soap behind the Nehus pick. 7 on the shot clock. Kick corner, Gillette. She'll fire up a three-pointer from there. It's perfect. Kennedy Gillette into double figures with 13 now. Go along with 7 rebounds. And SNU pushes the lead back to 9. Officials will review that. Shipman is off. Rebound Karam's out to Sanders. Step back over Jones. In and out, no good. battle for the rebound. Hurd goes to the floor, and a foul is going to be called on Abby Nehus on that collision. Stackhouse checking in for Breathitt, and Irene Perez in for J.C. Soap. Sanders inbounding on the baseline for the Golden Suns. Gets it into Shipman in front of the Tech bench. 17 on the shot clock. Shipman with a step back. Missed it short. And Nehus clears with her 8th rebound. Sarda between the circles. Directing traffic. Nehus with the handoff to Jones. Pivots back out. Sarda. She'll drive in. Has it knocked away, but gets it back. Fires baseline. Nehus, 12-footer, is off the mark, no good. Box out down low by Peavy. Allowed Stackhouse to get the rebound. Under a minute to go, third quarter. Stackhouse shut down. Sanders on the left wing. Tried to go behind the Hurd pick. Instead fires up a three. It's short. Rebound deflected out by Gillette, but it comes to Shipman. 23-second difference here. So we're down to 35 seconds to go. Peavy inside. Help defense comes, but unable to stop Peavy. And she scores inside to make it 46-39. Shot clock is off. SNU will hold for the final shot of the period. Sarda looking for Perez on the back cut. Instead, she'll take it herself. Shot's no good. Nehus has the rebound knocked around. It'll stay here with SNU with 3.8 seconds to go in the quarter. Sarda now just 1 for 12 from the field. Trying to get the backdoor cut. Knocked away by Sanders. Sanders puts up the 35-footer at the buzzer. It's off the back iron, no good. And that's how the first quarter will come to an end. As SNU will take a 46-39 lead into the final period. We'll take a break and be right back with the start of the fourth quarter after this here on the SNU Video Network and Crossover Radio Sports. Fourth quarter time here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leading 46-39 over Arkansas Tech. It's been a close one throughout the second half. SNU's led by as many as 11 here in the second half. Arkansas Tech has cut it to 7 and will have the basketball to start the final period. SNU started the quarter strong, 5 of 11 from the field, but went 1 of their last 5 from the field and were scoreless over the last 2 minutes. Sonia Sarda having a tough night from the field, just 1 of 12 thus far, but has also grabbed 7 rebounds and dished out 4 assists, so doing it in other ways as well. Dave Wilbur seems to be displeased that the review of the Kennedy Gillette corner 3 came up still as 3. We stay here at 46-39. Stackhouse drives baseline, kick corner, Shipman. She'll fire up a three-pointer from there, and it's good. And a foul is going to be called on Arkansas Tech. It's going to be on Goodsell. The shot will count, as the shot went through the basket before the foul, the officials rule. So three-pointer from Shipman is good. The foul on Goodsell will be her second. First team foul in the quarter for Tech. And the lead is now 4 for SNU. Sarda trying to post up Nihus. Nearly lost it. Now post up Jones. The pass is a little wide, and Shipman has it, and Jones trying to scramble for it. Commits the foul, her second. So a foul each way here in the first minute of the fourth quarter. Lead is 4. SNU led by as many as 15 in the first quarter, led by 14 after 1. Led 31-22 at halftime. Pass dumped down to Goodsell. Jones with the hard hack. Officials come together. Going to see if we've got anything beyond a common foul. It was a hard hack down from Jones. And they're going to send both teams to their benches here, as they're going to take a look on whether or not there should be a flagrant or anything of the sort. Pretty hard foul there, Emily, but it didn't look like there was anything much as far as extracurricular goes.
No, I think it was just a mistake made by Alexis Jones, just like any other foul.
So we'll see what the officials come up with at the monitor. And just a hard foul from behind, definitely hacking at the ball. I'm not sure if they're looking at anything post of the actual foul to see if there's anything that they need to rule on. SNU with a couple turnovers here to start the fourth quarter. 9 for the game, which is still well below their season average of 18. So they've done a great job in that department, just haven't been able to get the shots to fall. Sonia Sarda in particular, 1 of 12 from the field tonight. Hit her first shot, a three-pointer, as SNU opened the game going 3 for 3 from deep. Unable to sustain the momentum there. 7 of 17, though, for the game. Still doing well there. 5 of 10 from the free throw line, though. And that's been a bugaboo for the Crimson Storm all season long. SNU continues to dominate the boards, though, 36-27. They've got 14 offensive rebounds. One of their highest totals of the season for sure. 4 players with at least 6 boards. Jones with 6, Gillette and Sarda with 7, and Nihus leading all players with 8. Also has 4 blocks. Officials still huddled there at mid-court to determine if they're going to tack on a flagrant or anything of the sort. Coach Trent May and Dave Wilbur's exchanging sheepish shrugs and looks of, let's get this over with and move on. Officials going to explain the ruling to Trent May. I think we've, based on that we just have a regular common foul. So Goodsell will go to the line for 2 free throws. Goodsell 66.7% at the foul line this season. She's well off the mark with that first one. One more coming. That foul on Jones was her third, second on the Crimson Storm. And all this in less than a minute here in the fourth quarter. Goodsell misses both. Rebound tipped around. Hurd has it. Fadeaway hook is good. And it's a 2-point game. A lot of arms and hands battling for the rebounds inside today. Just like that, it's a 2-point game with 9 minutes to go. Sarda from the foul line. Gets it inside to Nihus. She's bumped, fouled, and scores! Abby Nihus finishes through contact. And she'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. The foul on Goodsell is her third. And a second team foul on Tech. Big response there for the Crimson Storm. Nihus in and out on the free throw. She's now 0 for 3 from the charity stripe this evening. Shipman between the circles. Gets it to Hurd at the right elbow. Pivots. Fade away. Blocked by Nihus. That's her 5th block of the game. Jones pushing. Goes to the baseline and brings it back out. Sarda behind the Nihus pick. Sends it to the right wing to Jones. Perez thought about the three, instead crosses over on Hurd. Drives inside. Blocked by Hurd. And Perez touched the ball standing on the baseline. It'll go over to Tech. Gillette back in for Perez. Peavy struggling to get it in, finally does to Stackhouse. De Silva is back into the game as well. Sanders goes behind the Peavy pick. Leaves it for Peavy. Right wing three is on the way. It's off the back iron, no good. Rebound, pop for, jump ball. As De Silva and Nihus both went high for it. It'll be SNU basketball on the alternating possession arrow. It's been tough sledding inside today for both teams. Both teams really aggressive, crashing the glass. 10 offensive rebounds for Tech, 14 for SNU. SNU leading overall, 38-30 in the rebounding category. Gillette drives in. Free throw line jumper is good. Kennedy Gillette now with 15 points on 6 of 9 shooting to go along with 7 rebounds. Terrific game for the junior. The lead is 6, 7-10 to go. Sanders behind the back dribble. Step back three-pointer on Jones. Off the back iron, no good. Soap snatches that rebound. Lead pass up ahead to Sarda. Gets it back to Soap. Sarda will work it back up top and run through the set. Drive and kick. Gillette open for another three. It's long off the iron, no good. Great look and a great find from Sarda. Sanders shovels it over to De Silva. Fell down. Did not have possession was the ruling. Gillette with the steal out the deflection by Soap. Up ahead of the pack. And she lays it in. Defense to offense for the Crimson Storm, and the lead is 8 with 6:20 to go. Shipman behind the Peavy pick. Leaves it back up top for Peavy. Skip pass in the corner. Stackhouse working on Sarda. High dribble. Finds Peavy in the corner. A little bit wide, and she's able to track it down. Shipman baseline. Working on Nihus. Nice little okey-doke there. And Shipman able to finish. Shipman, a solid-looking freshman. Now up to 12 points on 5 of 12 shooting. Being asked to do a lot now with the injuries to Oglesby and Valines. Soap left wing. Dumps it down to Nihus. Finds the cutting Jones all the way to the basket with the left hand, and she finished. Sarda nearly had a steal there on Stackhouse. SNU in need of a stop here. Shipman will fire up a three. It's off the iron, no good. And Jones has the miss. 5:15 to go. Jones quickly into the front court. Had Gillette open on the right wing. Had her back to her, though, and SNU will set up with 20 on the shot clock. The tempo has felt a lot faster than the score would indicate. Sarda drives baseline on Stackhouse. Missed that one off the side of the backboard. She thought she was bumped. Coach Straight May thought she was too. De Silva on the block. Gillette flops. And Evie Nehus comes up with the miss. Surprised we didn't get a flop warning there. So SNU with possession after a wild couple of possessions there. 4.5 minutes to go, 54-46. The Crimson Storm leading. Sarda between the circles, 10 on the shot clock. Gives it to Jones, working on Sanders. Kick back out, Sarda, left wing three, perfect! Sonia Sarda, 1 of 13 from the field. Knocked that three-pointer with confidence. Timeout Arkansas Tech. 4:09 to go here at the Sawyer Center. SNU is back up double figures, 57-46. We'll be right back after this here on the SNU Video Network. .409 to go here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leading 57-46 over Arkansas Tech. The Golden Suns inbounding on the baseline as SNU extends some full court pressure here. Fourth quarter has been good to the Storm thus far. 5 of 8 from the field. Just 3 of 8 for the Golden Suns. Stackhouse trying to get free of Sarda. Swings it up top. Shipman from the right wing off the mark with that three-pointer. Soap tracks down her 6th rebound of the evening. SNU 40% from the field, 33.9% for Tech. Sarda all the way to the basket, and she finishes. Split the double team with a low dribble. And Sonia Sarda, 5 quick points, has pushed the lead back to 13 for SNU. Breathitt, right wing for 3, no good. Sarda had the rebound. Stackhouse over the back with the foul there. Second foul on Kavanche Stackhouse, 3rd team foul on the Golden Suns. Sanders checks in for Stackhouse. Jones in the backcourt. Double team comes. Sarda dribbling through traffic, gets it over to Alexis Jones on the right wing, and SNU will set things up with 3 minutes to play. Soap with it, top of the key, guarded by Breathitt. Goes behind the Sonia Sarda pick. Soap short with the three-pointer, and it goes out of bounds along the side. Soap 16 points tonight on 4 of 6 shooting from 3. 6 rebounds, 5 assists. .245 to go as Sanders and Jones exchange pleasantries as they work the ball up the court. Breathitt got too deep. Shot goes off the underside of the backboard. SNU brings it in the front court looking to run some clock. Jones left wing in front of the bench. Behind the Gillette pick. Bumped and fouled by Sanders. Fourth team foul on Arkansas Tech. Second on Sanders. Goodsell and Stackhouse back in for Tech. SNU inbounding on the baseline. Gets it in the corner to Gillette. Sarda following Nehus, lobs it across to Nehus. Kennedy Gillette is there on the errant pass, and she puts it in. 17 for Gillette. The lead back to 15. Timeout SNU. 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. SNU has found the offense here in the fourth quarter, Emily. 7 of 11 from the field thus far.
Yes. Just watching them play, you can see how easily they move it around the court. And they're just patient, and they wait for that open shot. And when they have that open shot, they'll take it. And I think that's really the key to the second half right here.
17 assists on 24 made baskets for the Crimson Storm. And like you mentioned, SNU doing a much better job here in the second half. 13 of 27 from the field, just a shade above 50%. Also 3 of 7 from three-point range. They're 8 of 20 for the game from deep. Shipman works it up against minimal press. All the way, 1-on-4, and Nehus with another block. That's her 6th of the evening.
She's been great in the blocking tonight.
Gillette waited for traffic to clear, and Sanders came down for a ride on her back. Foul on Sanders is her 3rd. That'll send Gillette to the line for 2 free throws. Certainly nothing flagrant there, as Gillette just got the pump fake and Sanders went in. It'll be 2 free throws either way, as it's the 5th team foul. So with 1:47 to go, Kennedy Gillette looking to ice this one at the free throw line for the Crimson Storm. Knocks down the first. And one more coming. She got them both. 19 for the game for Kennedy Gillette. And a tremendous performance for her. 7 of 11 from the field. 2 of 5 from three-point range. Stackhouse pulls the trigger for 3 off the back iron, no good. Tried to get her own miss, but Jones comes away with it. Stackhouse ripping down for the strip. Jones doesn't appreciate it. Foul is going to go on Licia Peavy. Jones, a little aggressive, swinging some arms there. Clear some space after the foul. Jones is off the mark with the first free throw. One more coming with 1:32 to play. SNU leading 63-46. Splits the pair. 12 points for Jones tonight. Going along with 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Sanders. Jones working hard to get over that Goodsell pick. Sanders shut down by Nehus and sends it back out to Stackhouse. Stackhouse fade away from the left elbow is well off the mark. Rebound battled for, and it comes to Stackhouse, who's bumped and fouled by Gillette going for it. Second on Gillette. Abby James back in for Sanders. Kayla Eisler checking in for Abby Nehus, who's had a whale of a game. 11 rebounds, 6 blocks, 2 steals, and did a lot of creating space inside that's not going to be seen on the box score. Ashley Breathitt in for Stackhouse for Tech. Shipman fires up a three-pointer. Nothing but backboard and iron there. We're under a minute to go. SNU looking to polish off a nice win here at home. 64-46, SNU leading right now. Gillette, she'll fire up another three-pointer from the right wing. It's off, no good. Goodsell has the miss. Shipman has that nearly ripped away by Sarda. Instead, swings it to Breathitt. James. Goodsell top of the key, fires it into Peavy, and Gillette shoots the passing lane, and Alexis Jones comes up with it. Substitution timeout for SNU as Sarda. Let's see who all is checking out here. Everybody checked out. Emily Monahan, Julia Schwacke, Cassandra Awad, and Addison Foster into the game alongside Michaela Eisler. It's Awad up top. Schwacke behind the Eisler pick. She'll go back the other way this time. Dump it down to Michaela. Foster will hold it up top, and she's going to dribble this one out. Nearly a wire-to-wire win for the Crimson Storm. Arkansas Tech led 2-0. That was the only lead they held the entire game as the Crimson Storm take care of business and bounce back after last Saturday's loss to Henderson State with a 64-46 win over Arkansas Tech. Emily, your thoughts after a fantastic performance in the fourth quarter for the Crimson Storm?
Well, it was definitely a great win for the Crimson Storm. It definitely came down to that fourth quarter, and the girls just put all their heart into this game. And you could definitely see, and they were patient, and they moved the ball around, and they trusted one another, and it came down to the fourth quarter, and they won.
SNU led by 14 after 1, 9 after 2, 7 after the end of 3, and then just a snowball in that fourth quarter. 18-7, they went 7 of 12 from the field and held Arkansas Tech to 3 of 15 from the floor. Running through the final numbers for you. SNU 40.7% from the field, 38.1 from 3. They knocked down 8 of those. Just 8 of 15 from the free throw line. Again, that continues to be a bit of an issue for the Crimson Storm as the season has gone along. Defense, again, the name of the game for the Crimson Storm. 30.2% shooting for Arkansas Tech. They were 6 of 19 from three-point range and 2 of 5 from the foul line. SNU won the rebounding battle 46-35. Out-rebounded Arkansas Tech on the offensive glass as well, 14-11. And SNU closing the game on a 12-0 run over the last 6 minutes to really put the game away after Arkansas Tech. They got as close as 2 early in the fourth quarter. But SNU able to take care of business down the stretch and hold Arkansas Tech scoreless over the last 6 minutes of the game, and just 1 of 13 from the field as the quarter wound down. We'll step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Kennedy Gillette and get her thoughts on this evening's game. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back. We're joined now by junior Kennedy Gillette after SNU's 64-46 win over Arkansas Tech. Kennedy 19 points on 7 of 12 shooting, and Kennedy, just a terrific game for you guys, bouncing back after a tough loss Saturday against Henderson State.
Yes, sir.
Kennedy, you guys have made turnovers a big emphasis for you guys, cutting those down. Just 9 of those tonight. How pleased are you guys with that performance? I can see from your eyes that you are very pleased that something might not be coming your way now.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually. Yeah. I'm pretty. Our first quarter, do we have 0? Or
First quarter, I believe you had 1.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that was our big emphasis.
So, defense continues to be your calling card. 30.2% for Arkansas Tech shooting tonight. What is it about defense that you guys have been able to do that so well this season?
Coach Cooper gives us a good game plan, and we stick to our actions, and that's our big emphasis of making sure that we stop them, make sure we talk. We know the key players on the team, and we know what screens to call and everything. Like, we're so prepared for every game.
Kennedy, you've had a kind of a little bit of a slump shooting the ball the past couple weeks, but 7 of 12 tonight after a great start to the season. Is it difficult to push through those slumps sometimes?
My teammates helped me, and Coach May, he told me this week that, I just got to relax and my shot will come, basically.
You certainly did that tonight. Kennedy, you also had 7 rebounds. It's kind of been your kind of go-to, if you will, this season with rebounding the basketball. Is that fun for you, Coach?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, our whole team, we need to love it, but I especially love it.
Well, you definitely loved it tonight, out-rebounding Tech by 11 and getting 14 offensive rebounds, one of y'all's top numbers for the season. Quick turnaround against a tough Harding team on Saturday. Do you enjoy the rhythm of conference play with just the 2 games a week and just knowing how everything's going to be laid out each week?
Yeah, it comes fast. The week goes by fast, and right now it's that downhill slope that it's going to be conference tournament soon. So
absolutely,
it's so fast.
We'll look forward to that. Kennedy, congratulations on a great win tonight. And we will go ahead and get Coach May in here, get his thoughts on tonight's game as SNU takes care of business 64-46 over Arkansas Tech. Oh, you're good. You can go ahead and get Trent in here. And Kennedy Gillette, 19 points. J.C. Soap finished with 16 points for the Crimson Storm, 4 of 7 shooting from three-point range, including 6 of 12 from the field. We get Coach May in here with us. Coach, a terrific bounce-back win for you guys, and I know you couldn't see her over there, but you should have seen Kennedy's eyes light up when I told her that you guys had only 9 turnovers tonight.
How about my eyes?
Oh, they're bigger. They're bigger than hers were.
Awesome. Luke, I know we spent some time talking about some must that needs to translate well for us on the floor, and taking care of the ball is number 1. And so tremendous job. So proud of the girls for doing just that tonight, making good decisions. When we do that and rebound well, good things happen. I mean, they just do. We win a lot of ball games when we do that, and I know people could say, well, a lot of teams do, but for us, we're a hard team to beat when we take care of the ball and rebound well. So kudos to our girls and just the effort they put into it, and just really gutted out a performance tonight. And again, there's no team in our conference that's gonna lie down for anybody. So just really proud of our resolve, and it didn't go our way on Saturday, but thankfully our girls, they have no quit at them, and they have a togetherness, and it worked out for us, a good way tonight.
Last time here, you guys took care of business in the fourth quarter against Southeastern. Again tonight, outscoring Tech 18-7 in the fourth quarter. It seems like fourth quarter is kind of a big closing time for you guys, and y'all have taken advantage and really flexed your muscles a little bit there.
Well, we have, and that's you got to be a closers, right? And I also like our fast start. So some teams, struggle on both ends. Obviously you and I wasn't happy with our second quarter offensive output, but we did a good job. Gave us a nice cushion when right out the gates, and we were hungry, and we were hitting shots, and we had those feel good moments in the first quarter, and then that translates until but we still did okay in the second, and then. Like you said, we turned it up in the fourth and really got down to defense. Really made it difficult for them to get what they wanted offensively, and so I just liked our good rhythm tonight.
Good balance offensively as well for you guys. 19 for Kennedy, 12 for Alexis, and 16 for J.C. Soap. 4 of 7 threes. Just Really nice job for all three of them. And then, we talked about that the inside game was going to be big tonight, and Abby really worked her tail off inside.
Great game. I mean, it's they're the number one offensive rebounding team in the conference, and by my calculation and by our stats, we had 14, they had 11. So, tremendous job of our girls really crushing the boards, and it's both ends. If you're good at one end, can you be good at another? And so, again, I'm not a fan of the 11 offensive, but I like the fact that we were gritty on the other end as well. And so we met that and surpassed what they were, what they're good at. And so, there were some areas tonight, and obviously, again, you and I spoke about it, but rebounding and taking care of the ball, and it gave us a convincing win.
Quick turnaround against Harding. You've seen the Bison, very familiar with them. What did the Bisons bring to the table on Saturday?
Again, there's nothing easy in this conference, and so they're going to be hungry. They're going to come in and they're going to compete hard, and well coached basketball team, and they got some tough players, and so again they're going to want that inside game, and so we got to do just what we did tonight and really compete on the defensive end and make sure that again. It'll be the same storyline every single time we step on the court is, can we take care of the ball and can we rebound? And so, again, hopefully we can, 48 hours, we can be talking about another win because we did those things.
Coach, congrats on an awesome win. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday against Harding. 1 o'clock tip time here at the Sawyer Center. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll get things rolling for the guys. Second half of our doubleheader coming your way right after this here on Crossover Radio Sports and the SNU Video Network.